Today, I woke up super early to the news that in the NBA, Luka Doncic had been traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers. It's like the biggest deal in NBA history. It's like the biggest shock in NBA history in terms of a trade. In sports, I can't think of many bigger moves. And honestly, I was so hyped. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, wow, this is insane. I actually thought to myself, and I even tweeted it, these are days where I wish I could be like a basketball content creator. Because like a day like this, I would be like on every single channel talking about this. It'd be sick. And then I watched this. Today I watch Manchester United, and it makes me, like, it reaffirms that belief even more deep down. That I'm talking about the wrong sport here, because this sport brings me nothing but pain and heartache and stress and fatigue and just misery. I say the sport is good to me. It's very good to me. This team is not good for me. It's not good for me, guys. Honestly, I'm suffering. I'm fighting for my life out here. 2 wins in the last 7 at Old Trafford in the Premier League. 2 wins in the last 7 at Old Trafford in the Premier League. The theater of dreams has become the theater of nightmares. Literally. Every single team comes to our ground and walks around it, like treads their feet on it, like we're a laughingstock. And that's exactly what we are. Crystal Palace today. Brighton the other week. Guys, Brighton just lost 7-0 yesterday. And they came to our ground and treated it like it was like a playground. Every single team that comes to our stadium has the easiest 90 minutes of their life. Today, it's Crystal Palace. Mateta today, dunking on us the way he did. Will Hughes putting a clinic in the center of the park, like he seems to do every season against us. And I'm just rapidly like running out of things to say, man. I'm rapidly running out of things to say. It's the same thing every single weekend. The players aren't good enough. They have no idea how to play the formation that Amorim wants. We're playing players in the wrong positions. The wingbacks can no longer do what the wingbacks need to do. Dalot and Mazraoui has to be scrapped. Hoyland and Xerxes, it's like one plays good, the other plays bad. We switched it around. Today they both come on. Absolutely garbage from both of them. I'm running out of things to say. And I'm really now starting to lose the love of this. I love this club, man. I do. But I'm losing the love in terms of covering them every single week. And I don't think it makes me a bad Man United fan to say that. Because I'm looking at the stadium after every single one of these games. And by 85 minutes, the stadium is half empty. The stadium is half empty for Manchester United at Old Trafford. This used to be a ground that fans stay until the last second. Because you always knew with this club, they were capable of a last-minute comeback or a last-minute goal. Nowadays, man, 10 minutes left on the clock. You see guys rushing to the exit. Because you know this team, man. You know what they're going to give you. Absolutely nothing. Squat. Zilch. It's 1 step forward, 10 steps back. I've been saying it all season, and it just continues to ring true, man. In the Europa League this week against Steaua Bucharest, like, it was actually a decent performance. I was texting my dad. I said, like, this is actually one of the better performances we've had under Amorim. And you have to hope as a fan, right? Because that's all we have, optimism, right? You hope that maybe you can carry some of the elements of that game onto the weekend in the Premier League against better opposition. And time again, they just let you down. They just let you down, man. That's how I feel right now. I feel let down. I feel let down, guys. Seriously. Fulham, it wasn't a great performance. It wasn't. I knew it wasn't good. We got lucky to win. Like, okay, we might not have deserved to lose, but we got lucky to win. Southampton, we got lucky to win that game. Then there are other games against Brighton where we don't get so lucky. And then today, where bar the first 10 minutes of the first half, where actually we looked okay at times. Colby was running as a false 9. He hit the post. We were getting into dangerous positions. After those 10 minutes, it's like the team just ran out of gas. We ran out of ideas. And from there, Palace just had their way with us, man. They had their way with us. Ismail Assar today had his way with his defender. Mateta holding up everything. Will Hughes, like I said, pulling the strings. Eze looking like Kaka out there. And with Man United this season, right? If Bruno's not having a good game and Ahmad's not having a good game, you might as well write the game off. You might as well write it off because those are the only 2 players that can consistently this year conjure up a moment for us. And if they are not on it, it's impossible. Garnacho today, right? I'm not trying to scapegoat any players, but I'm going to highlight the shit performances because I'm tired of United fans saying, oh, like, well, we'll talk about this guy, talk about this guy. Let's talk about them. Garnacho, he actually played very well against Steaua Bucharest. And I was thinking, okay, you know what? We're probably not going to sell him now. Like, maybe he can build off this performance. This is a 60 million pound player. This guy is a 60 million pound player. Richards today on Crystal Palace had that guy in jail. And you can talk about system, manager, fit, whatever. This is just the art of wing play. Your winger against your opposition defender. 1v1. What can you do? I think Garnacho got locked up by Richards every single time he came up against him. Every single time he came up against him. And I've refrained from doing any kind of content on Garnacho during this entire saga because I wanted to see how it all ended up. And to be honest, I think he's probably going to end up staying. But this entire time I've held this belief that while I would rather keep Garnacho than sell him because I don't want to sell our young players, at the end of the day, I maintain that for me, he's an average young talent relative to most young talents out there. He's average relative to players out there. I'm not saying average compared to me, average to the typical Premier League player. He's an average talent. And if we were to get 60 million pounds from him, that's daylight robbery. He's not a 60 million pound player. He can have good moments. He can have good cameos. He can be a match winner at times, gives us some spark off the bench. 60 million pounds. That's a 60 million pound player. Save me. Please save me from that. Honestly, like, don't even bother trying to convince me that. It's impossible. Today, oh my goodness. Ahmad and him were diabolical. But Ahmad at least has been so good this season and has bailed us out so many times. I can overlook a bad Ahmad performance. Garnacho, you're almost like taking the positives out of a few games. He's had a bad season. He's had a very, very bad season. The wingback pair, Amorim, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? How can you go back to these two guys every single game when they consistently show you they're not it? Everybody with two working eyes can tell you Dalot and Mazraoui are not wingbacks and they can't do it for you. They can't. How many times do they have to tell you that? They are literally showing the evidence straight in your face and you refuse to believe them. People keep asking me, what's my thoughts on Dorgu? I don't know. I don't know anything about Dorgu. I have never seen him play in my life. I'm not going to lie to you guys here and talk about his profile and he's the perfect... I have no clue. I have no clue. You want analysis on Dorgu, go ask Lecce fans. I don't know it. But I'll tell you what I do know about him, he's athletic, he's quick, and he's attacking. And he's a specialist wingback. In terms of quality, I don't know. But if he's all of those things, he's automatically an improvement on Dalot and Mazraoui. Because the minute that these two get in the final third, their brains fog up. They forget how to play football. They forget how to even put one foot in front of the other. And it's normal. They're back four fullbacks. But Amorim, this is where I'm going to get on to him. How many times do they have to tell you who they are for you to believe them? How many times do Dalot and Mazraoui have to scream in your face that they can't do the job for you to believe them? And don't tell me there's nobody else. Find a different solution. Ahmad played on the right in midweek. We played Kobe and Garnacho in the number 10 positions. And it was better than the shit that these two are serving up. Why did you stray away from it? Why? Ahmad is a great number 10, I get that. But if Ahmad playing wingback or wide midfield is the key to unlocking this team a little bit, then do it. Stop running with these two clowns on the wing. And I hate calling them clowns because I think Mazraoui is a good player. He showed when he plays in a back three as the right center back, he can do a job. But stop playing him at wing back. Stop it. The experiment is over. The numbers say it sucks. The eyes say it sucks. The results say it sucks. When are you going to realize it sucks? Today he ran with Kobe false 9. I have to be honest with you guys. I think some people are annoyed at it. I see some people saying Amorim has to ditch that experiment. But was it any worse than when Højlund and Xerxes play up front? I'm not so sure. I actually think Kobe in the first half put together a better performance at number 9 than Højlund has given us all season. So, although he wasn't great himself, was it any worse than when those two play up front? No, it's not. I personally don't think so. But the reality is today, the worst bit about Manchester United was the midfield. I got onto the wingbacks, I got onto the attackers, but the midfield today is where it all went wrong for Man United. Ugarte was absolutely shambolic. Absolutely shambolic. And Bruno Fernandes, again, just like Ahmad, if he plays bad, United stand no chance of winning a game. But when you play bad in midfield as well too, an area of the pitch where you have to be a bit more intelligent, calculated, measured with your passing range, Bruno was a calamity today in my opinion. Him and Ugarte were so bad, and it left the midfield completely open for Eze to just drive the ball straight down the pitch, Will Hughes to dictate tempo like he's prime Andrea Pirlo, Jefferson Lerma literally crunching into tackles left, right, and center, and it all came down to the lack of protection in midfield. Those two were anonymous today. Honestly, Ugarte, right? This is why, again, for me, I'm very hesitant to go too overboard with Ugarte. Granted, he's been a better signing than I thought he was. I'll always admit that. But all this talk about, oh, Ugarte's been a revelation. Ugarte's been such a brilliant signing. I don't think he has been. I think he's an average, again, another average player that has good facilities. He's good at tackling. But long term, if Man United are trying to build with Ugarte as one of the stalwarts in midfield, I think you're in trouble. I think he can be a squad player at most. But he's not a brilliant player for me. He isn't. And then when Bruno plays the way he does today, Long day, bro. The midfield today got absolutely ripped apart. And I think that was the biggest concern for Man United. If you lose the midfield battle, you can have problems here, there, and everywhere. But the midfield, that has to be the hub of your team. That has to be what holds everything together. And it wasn't. Then we get to the back three, right? And look, we're in trouble now because Licha, I think, is out for a long time. I think Lisandro Martinez's injury today is serious. You look at that reaction, you look at him in tears being stretched off the pitch. I don't think we're going to see Lisandro Martinez for a long time. And let's face it, with Lisandro, our build-up from the back is bad. He is like the saving grace there because he can play line-splitting passes, he can play those balls over the top, he can maneuver his way out of pressure. But the other guys, they're not the greatest at that. You take Lisandro out of that team now. I'm really concerned. And I'm looking at Maguire today. I'm looking at Lenny Yoro today. Lenny Yoro, I have patience with him because I think he's a good player. Or I think he has good talent. I think he can be developed into a top center back. I still believe that. But he's had a really, really rough debut season. And I feel for him, to be fair, because it's a tough environment for an 18-year-old to just be thrown into the deep end. I get that. But let's call it what it is. Lenny Yoro has not been good for Man United this season. That's not me writing him off. That's not me saying he has no talent. But let's call it what it is. He has struggled. We've asked him to sink or swim, and right now he's sinking. And if anything, he probably needs to be taken out of the firing line here because every game you're seeing good things from him, but you're also seeing big mistakes from him. And I think it's a lot to ask for a player who just came to the Premier League at 18 years old. He doesn't look great at the moment. The goal that they score, the first one, I think he gets beat way too easily in the air by Lacroix. Onana, should he do a little better with the initial header? Probably. Ricochets off the post. Open goal for Mateta to finish. And then the second goal. It's the easiest split down our entire team. Open goal, basically, to square it to Mateta. It's just sad, man. It's just sad. Like I said, I feel like I'm repeating myself every single week. I feel like it's the same narrative every single week. Yes, we're going to sign Dorgu. Yes, is he going to be an improvement on the wingbacks we have? Probably. Maybe we sign Matthias Tell. Is he an improvement on the two center forwards we have? 1000%. That I have no doubt about. But we're a long way from relevancy right now, guys. We are light years away from being a competent, consistent football team, a respectable football team. The standards of this football club have fell so low. The quality of this football club has fell so low. The expectation. I don't know where Man United's next wins come from. I looked at this game post Fulham and I was like, okay, we have some decent fixtures coming up. Palace at home, Spurs away, Everton away, Leicester, Ipswich. I'm thinking, yeah, okay, on paper, we should be getting results here. We're not great, but come on. Leicester, Ipswich, Crystal Palace. If we don't win those games, what do we win? And the first game of this run, we can't even beat Crystal Palace at home. Where does it end? Where does it end, man? That's why I keep saying I'm nervous for Amorim, right? And this is going to be another game where people turn on Amorim massively. People are going to continue having less and less patience for Amorim. People are going to continue every game, start questioning, is he the guy to go forward? I don't know if he's the guy to take us where we need to go. I have no idea. Seriously, I can't tell the future. And I thought at one point Ten Hag was the guy to take us over. So I don't know. He could be, he could not be. But I'm sorry, I'm not hearing Amorim as a problem yet. He should not be one of the people we aim like the firing block at. He cannot be the guy we look to sack. It's too early for that, guys. It's way too early for that. I'm sorry, if you are calling for Amorim's head already as a Man United fan, then you might as well just accept that your club is never going to be good. That's not to say Amorim's the one to take us there, but if you're not even willing to give a manager more than 6 months and a few signings to at least give it a good go, you're basically accepting that this club is never going to return to where you want it to. We are so deep in the mud, and I don't think fans truly accept it yet. I think fans still think there's a quick fix out of this. I think fans still think we can spend 300 million in the window and just rebuild the squad in the summer. We are deep in the shit. We're in financial hell. We're in footballing hell. It's going to be a process to get out of it. I don't know if Amorim long-term is the guy to get us out of it, but you have to give him a chance. And it's bad right now. I get it's bad. And this is coming from me. I've been historically impatient with managers, but you have to give him at least a window or two to get some players in, bro. Come on. He's not doing a great job right now, but you have to give him a chance, man. Look at the players on display today. Rasmus Højlund today takes a touch that I genuinely almost fell out of my seat about. Xerxes today, every pass that falls to him, he tries reversing it first time. He misses it. You can tell Amorim with both these center forwards is sick to death of both of them. And I predicted this. When he came in, I said these two will have 6 months to audition to be Amorim's first choice striker. They both failed their audition. Within 2 months, Kobbie Mainoo's playing up front. They both failed their audition. Look at the midfield. Look at the wingback situation. we have to rebuild this team. You have to give him the chance to at least somewhat put his fingerprints on this side. But look, I'm afraid that if results don't improve, he could be in massive trouble. Like we have to pick up points, man. You can be as patient as you want, but at the end of the day, it's a results-based business as well too. And the results at the moment are absolutely shocking. I repeat, 2 wins out of 7 in the Premier League at home. 5 losses, 2 wins. We are becoming an easy 3 points for any team. Not just the Cities, the Liverpools, the Arsenal. Any team that comes to Old Trafford can get a win. Easy as that. When does it end, man? When does it end? Basketball YouTube, welcome me, please. I need to pivot away from this, bro. If I continue making Man United content as consistently as I am at the moment, look, I think I've been blessed with a pretty good hairline, pretty good genetics. I'm not balding. I'm good, right? If I continue making videos and covering this team as extensively as I do. Look, already I got bags under my eyes. I'm gonna have wrinkles under my eyes as well too. The lines in my forehead are gonna deepen. My hairline is gonna be touching the top of my head. Corners are gonna be doing like all out, all defensive. You know when you do analog stick 3 times on FIFA, they're going all the way back with the fullbacks. That's what's gonna end up happening if I continue stressing about this team as much as I can. Basketball YouTube. Do you have a place for me? Do you have room for me? One more. I can't continue doing this, bro. I can't continue doing this. I'm about to go watch Arsenal versus Manchester City. Hopefully the quality is at a much higher standard, because seriously, United at this point, it's a big team on name alone. I'm staggered that the likes of Matthias Tell actually want to join us, because we are an absolute calamity of a football club from top to bottom. I'm concerned.